Hello and welcome to today's episode of What's Up, the guitar show that's for guitarists just like you.
On this week's show, we're going to be talking to Dave, our resident guitar producing guru.
We'll be getting a masterclass in sweep picking from Mike Alexander.
We'll be looking at all the latest happenings in the guitar world.
And we'll be showing you how to construct your very own awesome sounding budget pedal rig for under £300 or $500 if you live in the USA. So this is our budget pedal board, and this is my budget watch, and this costs about 35 quid from Kingsman if you're interested. Today we're just focusing on pedals though. Rob, what's up first?
First up we have the Electro Harmonix English Muffin, valve-driven distortion pedal. In fact, it's a valve distortion pedal.
This is great then if you've got a transistor amp and you want a valve tone.
Exactly. This is brilliant because it runs two 12AX7s. You've got your volume, your gain, high, mids and lows, so you can go from anything from blues all the way up to metal really easily. Gain dial on this thing is incredibly effective.
I'm putting this on the table, Holy Stain. This has distortion capabilities and fuzz capabilities, 3 different tonal options there, an actual tone knob, volume self-explanatory. This is the cool part, 4 different kind of modulation and reverb style effects. So you've got room and hall reverb, pitch shift and tremolo. You can plug an expression pedal in and you, in real time you can change the pitch yourself, so that's really cool, and you can change the rate of the tremolo yourself, which sounds awesome.
Next up, modulation. Delay from Byang, true analog, and it's really shiny. You can see Rich there. There he is. With his headphones
Hello.
on, and there's muggins here as well. Right, basically you've got blend, repeat, and time. Blend doesn't kill your dry signal even when it's racked up on full, so you still get that pronounced note that you've played in the first place. You've got 2 different time settings. You've got 600 milliseconds and you've got 1100 milliseconds. As you
and then that's your feedback.
Is your feedback, so it's how much feedback you get.
Here is my old battered Marshall Blues Breaker, which I'm putting into the mix.
Note the missing volume control.
Yeah, I basically snapped the volume off because I used it when I had an MG100 amp as a kind of valvey style tone boost pedal for solos and the like. You can actually switch it onto blues and then use the drive, which is the distortion, and the tone to, you know, just get a cool bluesy distortion sound as well. So this is a really versatile pedal. This whole rig is all about versatility, and with 4 pedals here we can do a range of different effects and sounds. Having said that, we now have
this. So you can get rid of your hum. You've got 3 controls, very simple. Mute, reduction. Mute mutes the pedal. Reduction reduces the amount of noise you're getting. If you set it to mute, that's what it does anyway.
excellent.
You've got an effects loop, which is really useful. So we're going to run, you'll see later that we're going to run these 3 pedals that all generate distortion through the effects loop, which comes out of here. Whereas the delay, which we don't want to affect because it'll get disrupted by the amount of threshold and decay we have, input, output goes straight to this.
What I recommend is this rig is really good for just under £300.
It's also worth noting, just before we do go, that we're assuming that you have a tuner of some description.
Yeah. So there you have it. That's our recommendation for building a pedal rig for around £300.
Yeah, but it wasn't quite under £300, was it, Rich?
No, obviously we said it to be under £300, but I've got the worst math skills in the world, so.
You've also got to take into account, you've got to include patch leads, you've got power supplies and the case. So all in, we're looking at what?
I would probably say about £350 looking at all of those kind of things. But for True Fiddy, you can actually get an awesome sounding rig that does loads of stuff. That's the whole point.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's perfect. It's exactly what you'd want, and it's 350 quid. It's not that much more, guys. Just stretch that a little bit further.
But I'm not sure I'd recommend that exact rig though.
Really? That's really useful right after we filmed an entire
Well,
review
just
of it.
because, you know, if you get a holy stain on the carpet, then...
Oh, God. Now we're going to go and talk to David Carlyon of DC Sound Design. Last time we had a chat with him and he kind of gave us a bit of introduction as to what he does.
And we caught up with him in his studio.
Hey, welcome to episode 2. Today we're going to be looking at basic techniques of DIing guitars and then using amp modelling to make them sound real. I'd say when choosing your modelling software, have a look at all of them, make the decision for yourself, find out which one you like best. What I've got up here is Speakerphone by Audio Ease. I like this, I like Audio Ease, and they use a lot of sample-based technology in their plugins, which is why I go for it. So here I've got a little Ampeg amp. I'm just going to play this back dry and just show you the difference. None of these other effects are on, this is just the amp sim. And you can hear how authentic that sounds straight away. Obviously there's a lot of bass there. The particular amp I've chosen just has a 1x12 speaker. And that's kind of what we're going for. We're not going for a big bassy sound. So you might decide you want a big Marshall stacked sound. It's the opposite of what we're going for here. Now once you've amped your guitar up, you're going to want to look at processing it with effects and whatever, compression, EQ. It's always worth looking at other plugins as well to do compression and EQ, but some of them you'll find probably work really well. Okay, just doing a bit of shelving here on the EQ. Out. And in. We've got the compressor working a little bit there, with it out. A lot more lifeless there. And in. So we take the EQ and compression out. A lot more lifeless. I've got a very quick tack on the compressor there. So it's one thing getting your guitar to sound like it's coming out of an actual amplifier, and it's another thing to get your guitar to sound like it's coming out of an amplifier that's in a room. So that's the next step. Okay, so we're going to have a look at this room. I've got it on a really extreme setting so that you can hear exactly what it's doing. Very extreme. Sounds very far away. We'll just pull this mix down. Okay, it's actually starting to sound like it's in a room now. It's more usable. And again with the mic modelling, I'll flip through a couple of these. Oh, quite a nice growl. Nice.
On the subject of production, Rob, is it something you listen out for when you first hear an album, or you're listening more to actually how the guitar's played, how the music sounds to you?
Good question. Production to me is one of the most important things in modern music. And I know it sounds a bit kind of silly saying that, but you can listen to anything on the radio, whether you like the song or not. Listen to the production, because if the production is good, kind of go back a bit and then find out who produced it. If somebody you like produced it. I found out recently that all the bands that I listen to are produced by Rick Rubin.
But what if, okay, I'm going to disagree with you, but what if an album comes along and you love how it sounds, but you don't like how it's played, or you like how it's played, but you don't like how it's produced? You still like it if it was produced badly?
Yeah, I think if the song's got enough merit, then yeah, definitely.
Okay, and is there anything you've heard recently that is produced incredibly well, for example?
Well, the new Crazy Arm album, which is called Union City Breath, I believe, is produced and tracked incredibly well. Every element of their band is tight. There's nothing which lacks. You kind of sit there going, this really needs a good vocal line. Oh, there it is. And it just kicks in out of nowhere.
Okay, cool. So, thanks for that, Rob. Now, though, we're going to hear some of the news. Okay, cut! Oh, hello, and welcome to the Six of Rock News. with me and him.
And him and me, but we're not doing that.
The first thing in today's show is the Line 6 Challenge, which is on Rob Chapman's YouTube channel. A very popular guitar guitarist.
I believe we're speaking to him in the next episode.
We are. We're interviewing him, aren't we?
That's really weird that we've put that in here.
It's an insane coincidence.
What a coincidence.
Is what it is. And there's this video, the Line 6 Challenge. What is the Line 6 Challenge, Rob?
Line 6 Challenge is very simply a video on YouTube whereby they've taken the Line 6 Variax and a vintage Fender Strat, played them through the same amp, and you have to guess which is which. You obviously can't see the guitar at the time. And they play the same riff, switch between two videos, and you have to guess which one's which. And
there's clean and like dirty sounds, and they do it with telly as well, and an acoustic guitar, which is the one that stumps everyone. So there we go. Check that out, and check Chapper's YouTube channel out as well.
Now we're going to talk about the Fender Modern Player series that Fender have just released.
Indeed, Fender have just released the Modern Player series. It's basically a sort of entry-level series of Fenders, not quite entry. The cheapest we found it for online was £337 for some.
Bear in mind, this is a range of guitars, not just one.
So there's Tellys.
There is a Jag.
Yeah, it's called the Marauder though, not quite a Jag. And bass guitars.
No, they did it. Oh no, they did Jaguar bass. I should tell you. Yeah,
Jag bass. So there's some really cool stuff. Retail price is about £442.80 approximately. But yeah, like we said, we found it for £337.
On giggear.co.uk.
What's your favourite one in the range?
Telecaster Slimline. No, it's not. It's the Telecaster Plus.
Okay, cool. Why do you like it?
It looks amazing, and it's basically humbucker single coil. So it's like a Strat, but it looks like a Tele. But it sounds like a Strat, but it looks like a Tele. What more could you want?
I really like the Fender Thinline Dulux, which was two MP90 pickups, 4 knobs, 2 volume, 2 tone, which was really cool, and maple neck, pretty much exactly what I want out of a guitar. Thanks for watching the news, ladies and gentlemen. Back to the studio. Don't forget, guys, you can get the latest news as and when it happens at www.sonicstate.com/amped.
Now we've got another treat for you. We're going to go and have a word with Mike Alexander, our guitar god, who's going to develop our sweep picking technique.
Yeah, Mike was obviously born and bred in the fiery depths of hell, so sweep picking comes naturally to him. But for anybody who's struggling or wants to get their sweep picking speeds up to incredibly high, stupid BPMs, then this is exactly what you're going to want to be seeing, basically.
Right, well, I'm still Mike Alexander, and today's lesson is a little bit just again about sweep picking, a little bit about just the basic technique to get a nice clean sound and get it all sounding fluid, and maybe dressing it up with a little bit of incorporating other techniques like tapping. The sweep I'm going to do today, eventually we'll have the flat 7th in it, but I'm just going to start with by just doing the major shape. So I've got the root and the major third, the 5th, the root, the major third, and the 5th, and the 7th when it comes in will be here. Sweep picking to me often would be better called push and pull picking. So it needs to be, obviously not with a heavy hand, but it needs to be quite forceful, just push into the notes, sort of like feel yourself falling onto the notes. I'm sort of pushing into the notes, so you get push and drag. Okay, and then we just put that together. The best way again is, once you can find, you've got a rhythm, is just to try and do it in time with a metronome. And then a way to dress that up, the first basic thing is perhaps to incorporate some scale notes. That would be Mixolydian, so they've got your 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th. And so you might do a little bit of a legato sequence on the top. Again, I'll take it through slow. That was a little bit of chordal tapping on the way back next time, which will be another subject another time. And there you go, that's what it will sound like. Okay.
Stick to bass.
That is the end of our show today. So if you liked what you saw, then subscribe to us on YouTube.
Follow us on Facebook.
The granddaddy of them all, you can actually check out sonicstate.com/amped. It's got music reviews, guitar gear, like news about pretty much everything that ever happens that has the word guitar in it. So yeah, do that.
We've also got a Twitter account, which is @SonicAmped.
That's it. And yeah, that's about it from us, guys. If you've got anything you want to see on the show, leave a comment on the page and tell us what it is that you want us to do, and we shall do it because this is your show. Thank you very much for staying with us, and